Welcome all one more time here on your wonderful and beautiful show, Sankofa, live from Johannesburg, Midrand here in South Africa. Your host, Maponga J. What more can you expect? We can be sure that the future is beautiful and bright. When the parents are planting the trees, they know that their children will start harvesting from it. And today we are honored, truly honored, to have children amongst us who are going to be telling us about the African continent. You introduce yourselves, and your name is?
Lindiwe.
Lindiwe who?
Lindiwe Dube.
Sitting is Subtagazal Sagatube.
Tembos Tembayo.
Tembos Tembayo. And you are?
I'm Wayne Dube.
Wayne Dube.
Yes.
All right. And you are?
Akile Mkanja.
Nispatile Namji Akile, what do you have for us today?
We're going to talk about the Black History Month, which is actually originated in America and was celebrated by the Black Negroes on the Negroes Week.
And your organization, what is it all about?
MPB SMT is all about teaching children like cultural activities, sciences, maths, and all those.
Is it a school?
It's sort of a school.
Sort of a school, yeah. All right, so what do you have for us today? Here we're going to be featuring African countries, not all of them. We've just picked up about 10 countries in Africa, and we're going to have 3, then the other 3 will come, and then the other 3 will come as they showcase for us the great African continent. Who wants to start? Let's start with Wayne, yeah. Honor ladies or men first.
So I'm here to talk about Musa the First. Musa the First is the first king of Lesotho. Lesotho, back then, it was called Basotho, Basotho land. Basotho land was ruled by Musa the king, Musa the First, in 1833 to 1870 when he died. Because he was born, it's unknown, it's still unknown.
When he was born, yeah.
Yes.
Wise king.
Sir?
He was a very wise old man.
Yes, sir. So he died on the 11th March 1870, and he was buried on the Tobaboa mountain. For what I know, Musa nicknamed himself the Razor because of his name. So Musa, he liked to fight and all those. So he was involved in the fight between Basotho land and England or British. I'm not sure between those two. Okay, he was there when it was still a British colony. He helped his dad colonize smaller clans, and then he built his own clan on the mountain called the Bota Bota.
Yes.
So, at the age of 34. So, for what I know right now, Musa, for his death, they honored him with the airport now called Musa the First Airport in Maseru, Lesotho. So the thing that inspired me with Musa, he strategized everything he did in the battlefield. He didn't just fight because of fighting like Ushaka and things. So he fought with mind. In 18, I'm not sure where, in the 18s. He fought a battle between him and Ushaka, the Zulus, but he wasn't there. I don't know why, but he wasn't there. He let his men fight. Some of his men died, causing a bloodbath. So, Basotho now is a beautiful country, as we know, Maseru and all those. But the thing that I enjoy is that going to see I wanna see real life.
I have been there. I've been to Bobsiku, down in Lesotho there. And one of the battles that he fought, actually, just to remind you that he was a good strategist. The British came to fight with him, and he took all his men up the mountain. And when the British were following, he just rolled the stones on them without shooting or throwing a single spear, and he won the battle. So he was a serious strategist.
So, and I also heard that he used some of the missionaries to hear about information. They used information that they get from the other missionaries. So he also was involved in the burning he went to England to meet Queen Victoria to go talk about the crisis to populate the English people. So, like Lesotho now, you know, we speak Sotho and English now. Those two now don't match.
Yeah.
Because they became independent.
And just for extra information, Lesotho is actually supplying water into South Africa. Those mountains, actually, the Vaal water, Maseru water, and etc. They're pumping water into South Africa, and also they're good in fishing. All those dams, the good fish, trout, and they also are very good with sheep in terms of their farming, and they're supplying sheep and lamb. And another good one, they've just approved the first law, I think, in the Southern African Hemisphere for farming marijuana officially for medicinal purposes. Yeah.
And also, so, the funny thing that I liked about Musheshi, he made a poem about himself. So his poem went like this: I Musheshi shave the beards of my enemies.
Okay.
Because of his name, the shaver.
So are you looking at my beard and you want to shave yours? Let us hear from you. Which country are we featuring?
Okay, Botswana. Okay, I'm going to be talking about Seretse Khama, who is the first president of Botswana in 1966. Seretse Khama studied overseas, and so he married a white woman, which is Ruth Williams, and he had 4 children. I don't know much about their children, but I only know Ian Khama and Jacqueline Khama. Yes. Ruth Williams died on a throat cancer. Yeah, and Seretse Khama died on 1980, and he was buried in Gaborone, which people call it Gaborone. Yeah, and Ruth Williams was also buried next to her husband in Gaborone. Yes.
What else do you know about Botswana?
The minerals.
Diamonds.
And yeah, yes. I discovered that when Botswana discovered their diamonds, they soon became, when they became independent. Yes. They like baqala ukukhula. Isn't it first Botswana was poor because they never discovered their diamonds. So now, yes.
And what is embarrassing, actually, though it is an advantage, but there's a problem also, because lots of the Botswana diamonds are actually being mined by South African companies. And we still have a problem there. And Botswana is one of the last countries in Africa which still hosts the Bushmen. And they're slowly being pushed out because of civilization and etc. But they are good with farming also. Lots of cattle in Botswana. Botswana beef is one of the best that you would find in the whole continent. All right. And Akile.
I'm gonna be talking about the country Mali.
Mali.
Yes. Mali was one of the richest countries in the world, but now is the poorest of the poor. The Mali Empire was built by King Mansa Musa.
Wow. One of my heroes, yeah.
Mali is well known about its salt and gold mines. It's very rich. It has a fertile soil. Most of Mali is located in the Sahara Desert. In Mali, they used to trade through the Sahara Desert. They used to use camels and everything like that. Mansa Musa built the Mali Empire. He was the one who made Mali rich. But then it flourished. But then before it flourished, it was colonized by the French people. When they came, they wanted to take over because of their soil and everything like that. But then in 1960, it gained its independence from France. Back then, it was named French Sudan. Yes, it was named French Sudan. And then it gained its independence in 1960. Well, then from then, they actually it's now poor, but some of the cities are actually, maybe let's say Timbuktu is a bit richer than other cities and stuff.
When you mention Timbuktu, be emphatic, because that is one of the oldest libraries in the world, Timbuktu, and with some of the ancient books that was burnt actually a few years ago by the Islamic extremists. But it hosted quite a good amount of history.
Well, then there was a great mosque that was built with sunburnt bricks that they used to build the mosque with it. Well, in the mosque there were scripts about how they became Muslims and everything, because now they actually speak French. Their official language in Mali now is French, because they were forced to speak French since the French colonies came and they've colonized Mali. Well, from France, they were called by Portugal and organized by Otto von Bismarck in the Berlin Conference. That actually organized the European countries to colonize Africa, which actually means Europeans put borders in Africa so that they can divide the continent into different places. And Mali was then found by the Songhai people. And then they actually started from there. And King Mansa Musa ruled in the 13th century, but I haven't done some research of when he died.
He was the richest man who has ever lived. And Mali is still known for some of the griots. The griots are the kora players who can relate their history to 60 to 70 generations by memory, from mind, no written notes. That is the wealth of Mali.
Well, they actually do some visualizing and telling stories to the generations. And
wow. There we have it from the first lot here. We've had a bit of Lesotho, and we went into Botswana, and we closed off with Mali. Stay with us after the break. We'll pick up another few countries, and let's hear what the young people are telling us about this beautiful, our continent, our Kebala. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
I want you to eat healthy food because it's delicious.
Make massive moves.
Would you like another one?
I love it.
I love this soup. This is amazing. The grits are so creamy. Oh.
I take pride in my grits.
So flavorful.
I think that looks wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so incredible. Make massive moves with Starsight. Make massive moves.
Bible is human and divine.
It's important for us to remember.
And I'm part of God's story.
Yeah, mama, mama, hey.
God is sealing you.
God says what he means, and he means what he says.
God is good.
I am very grateful to God. I am healed. Amen.
Make massive moves with Starsight. Make massive moves.
Deceiver! There isn't any time to waste then.
We can't save everyone in this war.
One moment, that's all we got.
You're locked in here with me.
Make massive moves with Starsight. Make massive moves.
The space race has already started.
Russia had got the first object into space.
The coast is as wild today as it was when Europeans settled the continent.
Enormous beasts with enormous thirst. The teams are primed and ready.
They got the first animal in space, and they got the first person.
Time to see what the boys can do.
Make massive moves with Starsight. Make massive moves.
How can you say that?
That is what it is.
Your mother eloped with someone else.
I just think this is such a genius idea. I think it's amazing.
I can be happy.
It's inside you. It's inside of all of us.
It's about cooking smart that are nutritious and delicious.
President Trump acknowledging the coronavirus death toll could be significantly higher.
We don't want to do this.
there is nothing you can take.
Surviving roommates scared.
The heavyweights arrive.
Inside, finds Petulia, blocked by Jane.
This is the will of God.
Make massive moves with Starside.
We have an opportunity again, one more time, to hear another round of African voices, young voices telling us about their continent. And I'll start with you right next to me here. Introduce yourself and tell us which country you are introducing us to.
Greetings to all. I'm Tabiso Dlamini, 15 years of age. I'll be summarizing about Ghana and why I chose it as my most favorite country.
My name is Mona Lisa Njovu, and I'll be talking about Swaziland.
Swaziland?
My name is Mtabi Singwe, and I'll be talking about Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Let's start with Ghana here.
Okay. Ghana is mostly known for its cocoa, oil, and also for the Gold Coast. It was named the Gold Coast before its independence in 1957. The first queen of Ghana was Ya Asentiwa. She ruled Ghana and fought for the Ancentina War, and she was the one who led it into independence in the British colony. Also, the first president of Ghana was Kwame Nkrumah. He was the first president of Ghana, the prime minister, and he fought for the British colony and led Ghana into independence in 1957.
Ghana, beautiful country, and rich in culture also.
Yes.
Most of these African cloths and stuff like that, you still find them in...
yes, it's called the Kente cloth.
Yeah, Kente cloths, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Nice. Next one.
I'll be talking about the history of Swaziland. Okay, Swaziland is located...
Just lift your microphone next to you. Yes, let's go.
Swaziland is located in eastern southern Africa. It is mostly surrounded by South Africa. Sobuza, King Sobuza. He was the first king of Swaziland. So he, sorry, I'm nervous.
Don't worry.
King Sobuza, he was called Somhlolo because he was given this name because he was the father of mysteries. He was he left a huge legacy that influenced the way of life in Swaziland. And there is a time when he was warmly welcomed in the Ngcamane Swazi nation, that he was welcomed by Kabango Maseko. He asked Kabango Maseko to marry his daughter Labobonti. Kabangobe refused to marry Labonti. So he asked King Mkazi to marry the daughter of Somhlolo. He, as a token of appreciation, to welcome them as their refuge. And the Masekos made an effort not to make the daughter of Sobuza to marry King Gazi. So, and it came across that Lanzibanze, who was the main wife of King Somhlolo.
Lanziband, Bokoch.
Yes. Yes. So, King Somhlolo saw that they married Lanzimanzi. So he made a huge plan on how they can overtake King Gazi. They invited them to Mamawela Island, where they hunt for animals, and it's the few soldiers want King Somhlolo. King Somgazi not to go there. Sorry, and it was too late. He was overtaken and killed by King Somhlolo.
Okay.
And that was the endship of the Pharaohs.
And actually in Swaziland we still have some of the old traditions and the reed dance for the Ingwala and beautiful traditions, and I think there's one of the foremost countries in Africa that is still upholding and good tradition in their own country there. Wow, nice. Are you Swazi yourself?
No, I'm not Swazi.
You're not Swazi? Okay. And which country are we going to?
I'm going to talk about Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe or Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So Zimbabwe is a nation to the north of South Africa. It's situated on a high plateau. Its elevation gives it a temperate climate. Almost all of Zimbabwe's people are black Africans, and most of them are Shona people. So it's pre-colonial history by about 81,000. The Shona people had built Great Zimbabwe. The name Zimbabwe means the house of stone. And then later on, they created the wall, which is 800 feet long, and then a 30 feet high tower, without mortar nor mud. And then actually Zimbabwe by the time it reaches fetal condition, which means it ran out of clean water, and then and land, of course. And then about the first Ndebele king, which is Mzilikazi, you all know about him. So Mzilikazi originally was a Zulu. He came from the Zululand, which is now known as KwaZulu Natal. So Mzilikazi originally was a lieutenant of Shaka. So, but then he had a quarrel with him in the 1823. So then, when he actually found out that Shaka wanted to kill him because Mzilikazi had potential, he actually was killed and was the head of the military of Shaka's army. So then Shaka thought, no, he is going to be a problem in the near future, so he needs to be executed. So then, when Mzilikazi learned about that, he actually fled northward with his followers, running from Shaka, scared of being killed. So he firstly traveled to Mozambique. That's why he settled there about 1826. He then moved due to continual attacks by his enemies. So Mzilikazi later then moved. It was Limpopo. It was Limpopo when he actually came there and then took beautiful wives and men for his army, and then he went to Botswana. That's why actually Botswana people in our country, which is Zimbabwe. He then traveled and then he went to Zambia.
So when Botswana are calling Zimbabwean people Makwere, they're actually calling their own relatives. They're
actually calling their own relatives. They just do know that
lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Right.
So, and while you're on that, actually, the Zimbabwe and the Botswana story that we just received, we have ruins in Botswana called Domboshawa. That is in up in Plumtree.
Oh yeah, Plumtree.
Right, and the king there is called Masunga. We from the Domboshawa, in the Karangas, and Domboshawa. And you have a place in Zimbabwe also called Domboshawa, which is quite interesting. That Zimbabwe and Botswana, there's one time where we did not have the borders between those two countries.
Yes. Mzilikazi originally had 3 sons, 4 actually. He had those 3 ones before he became a king. So then the Izinduna from his actual tribe didn't allow him to actually make one of those child bury his throne because he wasn't the king by that time. So he then gave birth to a child known as Lopengula, which was the second king of the Ndebele people. So Mzilikazi actually settled in Zimbabwe. Settled in Zimbabwe, that's why it became the Mandebele territory. and then later on it is called Bulawa.
Bulawa. Interesting history there, because the last time I met up with King Zwelithini, and I told him I was from Zimbabwe.
King Zwelithini, I've heard of it.
He actually told me that he's still waiting for his cows that Mzilikazi took to Zimbabwe. And he will not recognize any king from Matabeleland until they pay back his cows. Any final word? 1 minute each. You want to tell African children out there? What do you want to tell them?
Oh, in Ghana, the age...
1 minute.
Okay. In Ghana, the age where you can get married is 18 years. Yeah, and Ghana believes that when you have more wives, that's where you can show your power and your worthy amongst other people. So each wife has got a separate room where they can bear children, and when your husband dies, you need to marry his husband.
You need another brother?
Yeah, no, his brother, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And
what I would like to say about...
Lift up your microphone a bit.
What I would like to say about Africa as a whole is that we must all unite and let's stop the hatred of the xenophobia thing and unite and love each other as we all do.
Final word to the African youth?
So I'm actually going to recap a little bit about Zimbabwe. So yeah, Zimbabwe actually is on sanctions right now, held by the United Kingdom. So people will be saying that Zimbabwe is poor, and all those people, yeah, this. No, actually Zimbabwe is on sanctions right now, held by the United Kingdom, which means actually Zimbabwe is rich in minerals. It has chromides, diamonds, gold,
coal, manganese,
aluminum,
asbestos, tin. Remember I'm from Zimbabwe also.
Yeah. So another thing,
platinum,
platinum.
Yeah.
So another thing about us youngsters, we must actually be proud of who we are. We must learn about our roots, where we came from, learn more about our ancestors and stuff.
Wow, thank you very much. That the next lot there, we've touched Zimbabwe, touched Ghana, and we touched Swaziland also. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break, and we hear again from African young voices. What are they saying about their continent? And these will be there in the future. Some of you old politicians, go home to your retirement villages. You cannot be planning a future for the young people and you won't be there to live in that future.
Yes,
thank you. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break.
Make massive moves.
There isn't any time to waste then.
We can't save everyone in this war.
One moment, that's all we got.
You're locked in here with me.
Make massive moves with Starside. Make massive moves.
The space race has already started.
Russia had got the first object into space.
The coast is as wild today as it was when Europeans settled the continent.
Enormous beasts with enormous thirst. The teens are primed and ready.
They got the first animal in space, and they got the first person.
Time to see what the boys can do.
Make massive moves with Starside. Make massive moves.
How can you say that?
That is what it is.
Your mother eloped with someone else.
I just think this is such a genius idea. I think it's amazing.
I can be happy.
It's inside you. It's inside of all of us.
It's about cooking smart that are nutritious and delicious.
President Trump acknowledging the coronavirus death toll could be significantly higher.
We don't want to do this. There is nothing you can take.
Jerusalem. Surviving roommates scared.
The heavyweights arrive.
Inside, finds Petulia, blocked by Jane.
This is the will of God.
Make massive moves with Starside. Make massive moves.
I feel confident. I feel like I can take on the world.
You're telling a story through your clothes.
Such a professional, you wouldn't even know.
Criticism is one of my biggest motivations.
Darling, you want to be a model?
Like, oh my God.
I'm glistening.
The fashion industry needs people with beautiful faces. I would pay thousands of dollars for that look.
Make massive moves with Starside.
Here we are back again with another set of beautiful and wonderful young people here sharing with us the wealth of the African nation. And we're going to take another plunge and here introduce yourself. And your name is?
My name is Anati Bam.
Anati
I'm
Bam.
11 years old.
How old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
11. Which country are you going to be talking about?
I'm going to be talking about South Africa, the places I've went to in
South Africa.
Yes.
Lapem Tanya Kwazania. And you?
My name is Junior Nkosi, and I am going to be talking about Egypt.
Egypt.
Yes.
Amakipita.
Yes.
Namafaro. Okay, and you are?
And my name is Luyanda Ngube. I'm 16 years old. I'll be talking about Nigeria.
Nigeria. Let's get started. Let's start with South Africa.
South Africa, here in South Africa, the places I've went to, it's Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga, it's a great continent. And it's hot and it's full of great people. And I tried to learn Mpumalanga's language, but it was...
It's Swat.
Like...
And
it's Swati, it's Ndebele,
and Shangani also.
Wow.
A bit of in Mpumalanga, in Beggarsford, when you go further down, you actually find the Shangani, the Mozambican influence, yeah.
Then I went to Limpopo. Limpopo is full of Tswanas, vendors, and pedis. So in pedis, I don't know dances, and I'm going to learn about them when I go back there.
Okay.
And in Mpumalanga, in Swaziland.
You've been to Swaziland also?
Mpumalanga, there are a lot of Swatis.
Yes,
so I learned their songs. I learned how to dance.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know how to dance.
But originally you're from the Eastern Cape?
Yes.
Where in Eastern Cape?
Eastern Cape in Engcobo.
Engcobo.
Yes.
Okay. Then there are, how many languages in South Africa here?
I'm not sure.
About 11, if I'm not 12?
Yeah, 11.
11 or 12 languages there. Yes. And the Tswanas, yes. The Pedis, the Sutus, Ndebeles, Shanganis, vendors, yeah. Swazis, and Xhosas, of course.
Yes, and they always there.
And of course, Tina Mazimbos. And Chinese also are now here now. But Amandla, way to maybe Africa. Yes. South Africa, a great country.
Yeah. Very nice.
I think it was one of the last bonds for getting independence from the British.
Yeah.
And Mandela becomes the first democratic president of the Republic of South Africa. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, let's cross over to
the Pharaohs.
The Pharaohs.
When you talk about Egypt.
But before we go, you said you learned a song in Swazi or in Pedi. What song do you remember there? Any
in
song?
Swazi, it's Lengo nyama baibe amabala sinanzaba tina sofe lenko sinanzaba.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. We'll bring some drums next time around, and we can convert this into a nice riff. And take us to the Pharaohs.
The Pharaohs, man. When you talk about Egypt, you talk about the pyramids. The Nile River, the longest river in Africa. You talk about the great pharaohs like Queen Nefertiti, Ramses II, and like when you talk about Egypt, the population, by the way, is I think it's 100.4 million. Last time I checked, I think it was 2019. I really like that country. What interested me the most was like the pyramids. So when I researched about the pyramids. Actually, they were made in the Old Kingdom. The Old Kingdom, it was called the Age of the Pyramid Builders. I think it was Pharaoh Pepi II who ruled the longest in that particular kingdom. And there was the Middle Kingdom. The Middle Kingdom, it was all about, what can I say, like it was called the first intermediate period. meaning they were trying to like build up, be a country again, you know. And after that, we went to the New Kingdom. Well, when you talk about the New Kingdom, you talk about, like I said, Ramses II. Ramses II, when I talk
the
about
hunter
that,
himself.
Yes, the magnificent. When I talk about that pharaoh,
He used to be an archer, apparently. He used to shoot with bows while sitting on his horse, and he would be.
Wow.
Ramesses, yeah.
I've read like wonderful stories about that guy because he actually led his army against like multiple enemies like the Saronians, the Libyans, and the Hittites. And what I actually like about that guy is he secured what I would say the best peace treaty against the Hittites to secure the Egyptian borders. That's all I can say about Egypt.
Wow. And of course, when you talk about the pyramids,
Yeah.
you cannot talk about Egypt and not talk about African culture.
Yes.
In its genesis.
Oh, okay.
The writings on,
Oh.
on those pyramids. The mother of all writing. The hieroglyphics.
The hieroglyphics,
on the
yes.
papyrus. And he's still walking those stones today. That was our Facebook.
Wow.
Because we used to write on the stones. And that information is still there. So before we could even speak about writing and reading, it is Africa that taught the world how to read and how to write. And of course, the greater part of the blessing of Egypt is the spiritual vortex.
Yes.
All the three most popular religions in the world, Islam, Christianity, and Eastern religions and Judaism, all of them cannot run away from their history, which is embedded in the Egyptian history itself. And there's a big war that is going right now for people fighting and saying it was not built by Africans.
What?
There should have been some aliens who came to Africa to build it, because the white man does not think that a black man could do that. And again, just like Zimbabwe, they build up without mortar, without cement, and you cannot even fit a razor blade between those stones. That is technology at its highest. And the shape of the pyramids, of course.
Yeah.
That's why you still find even on African designs.
Yeah, they
We still, throughout Africa, that actually is a representation of our great Egyptian history.
Wow.
So you still have the pyramids on most of our African designs.
Yes.
Look on your that connects the African continent together.
Yes.
And the river Nile starts in Uganda.
Yes, Tanzania, like those
Uganda, and flows upwards. The only river that flows upwards.
North, yes.
It flows north.
Into the Mediterranean Sea, I think.
From Uganda in Jaja.
Jaja.
Jaja, it starts in the Lake Victoria.
Yeah, Lake Victoria.
And then flows
right,
up into Sudan, into Ethiopia, and finally into Egypt. And right now there's a big war over the building of the dam in Ethiopia. Now that's going to cut out Sudan and Egypt, and that disrupt lots of life that has been happening around the Nile, because this river connects almost 3 to 4 countries together. And if one country should decide to put a dam, it means that you're actually reducing the water supply down the river. And I'm giving you some extra information.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. But did you know also that you have more? You have more pyramids in Sudan than you have in Egypt.
Wait. There are pyramids in Sudan?
In Nigeria also.
Wow.
Yes, there are more pyramids in Sudan than there in Egypt. And go and find out on that.
Okay, thank you.
Much exciting information. Then actually that even assists the African child to know that this technology was not only locked up in Egypt, but it also moved further down and etc. By the time you come to the Zimbabwe ruins, you are having another model of the same idea of pyramid technology.
Wow.
Let's go for you. Which country are we with?
Yeah, then we get in Nigeria.
Niger.
The nation of the blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, where everything
Biafra, they call it Biafra.
Yeah, where everything is made possible.
Yeah.
Nigeria is actually overpopulated country with a lot of black people in Nigeria, like a lot of black people in Nigeria.
Last time I checked, there were 260 something million.
No, it's 201 million people in Nigeria. Like it's
the counted one. The counted ones.
Yes, it's so overpopulated, especially with black people. I mean, it's a country filled with nature, where they respect their religion, where they respect their cultures, where everything that takes place in Nigeria is being respected, including their history, like we talking about Black History Month, which is February. So I think if a lot of people know about this Black History Month, like, I mean, I went through this thing and I just noticed that a lot of people don't actually know about this Black History Month because I mean, I don't know, maybe it's all because it's not in the calendar. Maybe that's why, like, no, some people are really surprised to know, oh, there's something like Black History Month, like February. We only know that February is only for Valentine. We're red and white, you know. Yeah, so they respect their history. Their culture is being respected. And we've got great people like Nnamdi Azikiwe. You know that guy? Yeah, he actually, he was born in the 19th of November, 1904. He was the first ruler of Nigeria, and he died 11 May 1996. Yeah, he actually did a great role for Nigeria. He rescued them from the British rule. You know, they were being ruled by the British like every other country. No, the history behind Nigeria is very nice. Nigeria is a country where soil is very fertile. Like, as we normally watch the Nigerian films, like, have you ever watched a Nigerian film and discover that there is nobody fighting for a land? Like, they really, like, land is one important thing for the Nigerians, because that is where they feed on, that is where they get to, like, feed their families.
The pounded yam.
Yeah, exactly.
And pepper soup.
Pepper soup, like cassava, you get it. Yeah, that's where, you know, that they are people of nature. In Nigeria, you don't like actually get those people eating. They eat nature. Cassava is nature. Millis is nature. Everything that they do, they make sure
fish.
that exactly fish, like fresh fish in Nigeria.
And their culture has actually been contagious because they are senator suits.
Yes.
Those Nigerian clothes.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Including Nigerian.
The gele, do you know the gele, the hair wraps?
Yes.
The gele for the women. The history, like, the gele used to be worn by the male people to, like, actually show they are they are wealthy, like, to show, like, we are the great people. But as for now, the gele head ties.
It's now going to the women.
Yes, it's for women, like, for special occasions.
You took
like,
away our things now. Now you're putting
we just took over. Yeah, we took over. So, yeah, they wear their gele for, like, occasions like weddings. Most of the times, you see those big wraps, if you get the idea. Yeah.
You don't want two ladies like that in church. You can't see the pastor.
It actually covers the two heads of the people behind you. Like, it just, like, takes the whole space.
Majesty is big. And by the way, while you're still on Nigeria, we also want to remember the organization called Biafra. Biafra, which is the original name for Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Nigeria is a colonial name.
Yes.
So, and you find that two major religions in Nigeria, in the south and in the north.
Yes.
And in the south, that is the Lagos side.
Yes.
It is the Christian space.
Yeah.
And then in the north, like Buja side, that is a Muslim space. So the politics of Nigeria has constantly been a religious war between the south and the north. The Hausas, the Igbos,
Yoruba,
and the Yorubas,
the
and etc.
Fulas.
And the Fulanis and stuff like that.
It's a lot. Like, as we're talking about Lagos, when I went deeper about Lagos is one of...
I've been to
Oh, wow. I really wish to be there. Wish one day you can actually take me there. Please. Yeah, I mean, I like Nigeria.
I've been to Ife, I went to Port Harcourt, I've been to Abuja, I've been to Lagos itself, I've been to VI, and also Benin, and beautiful history. But I want us to talk about something very important also about Nigeria, which is the writers, the literal writers, who have contributed greatly to the African narrative.
Yes.
Scholars who come to my mind are like Chinua Achebe,
Yeah, Chino Achebe, one of the professors.
What is the book that he wrote? Any book you remember?
What you call? I forgot the name.
Things Fall Apart.
Yeah, Things Fall Apart.
Find that book and read it.
Yes.
The center is no longer holding. You have also Mama Ngozi, beautiful lady, good writer also, and find his books and find her books, and also read some of those beautiful, some of the most beautiful, and the other old men. So Inke, the one with big Afro white hair, an old man, brilliant writer also, from Nigeria also.
Yeah, I actually heard about like Lagos. Like I heard Lagos is wealthy. I'm not sure if it's the truth or not. Like Lagos is wealthy, but 60% of Lagos people are living under poverty. Like, I mean, I couldn't actually understand, like, for what good reason? Because Nigeria is actually, it has oil, but people are living in hunger.
But can I tell you something about that oil? The pipes that run through the Niger Delta, huge pipes. On both sides of the pipes, you find poor huts. And those pipes are written BP,
the
British Petroleum.
It's owned by the British.
They are pulling that oil up into
their
places. They purify it, and then they bring it back.
Oh, that's really
so which
good.
is the biggest problem in Africa, where we don't beneficiate our own materials. At the end of the day, even if you have the resources, look at platinum right here. You see all those trucks carrying platinum to the harbor. And you're wondering, why are we not making things out of our own minerals? You want to say something, sir?
Nah, I'm actually, I enjoy listening to you saying this kind of things, because some of those things, I didn't know them. I didn't know.
I didn't know, like, all those things. Like, I was actually wondering, why are Nigerian people suffering? Like, when we try, like, and check, like, as for me, I've never been in Nigeria, right? So a lot of things that I know about Nigeria, I actually see them on films, like Channel 152. That's where I get to know, okay, like when you see the movies, like the places those people live in, it's like, I don't know, it's animal habitats. Like you won't tell, okay, this place actually lives a human being. So I can't understand. And then when I check the internet, they'd be like, Nigeria has oil.
The movies is one thing. There are places in Nigeria like VI, like Abuja, new cities, where everything is big.
Everything is
Houses are big, cars are big, people are living large. The richest man in Africa is not from South Africa. He's from Nigeria.
Oh.
His name is Dangote.
The richest man
in Africa. His name is Dangote.
Oh, wow.
He's from Nigeria.
Wow.
So go and do your research on Nigeria, and also Nigeria has influenced Africa greatly because of their music and Nollywood.
Yes,
which
Nollywood.
Is their movies. And I wish we had Jollywood in Johannesburg, because Indians have
Jollywood for Johannesburg.
Indians have Bollywood.
Yes.
Nigeria has Nollywood.
And
America has Hollywood. So why don't Johannesburg have Jollywood?
Wow. But that's actually something, I mean, we can actually create one, you know, for ourselves, just, you know, to have something that we also own. I mean, Nigeria is best in Nollywood.
And because of their population also, they are bigger in terms of business impact. You think MTN is big here when they actually have maybe 15 to 20% of the market. But when you get to 15 to 20% of the market of 52 million people, that gives you roughly, you know, 8, 10, 15 million. But if MTN is having 30% or 40% of the Nigerian market, which is 200-something million people. So actually MTN is bigger in Nigeria than they are in South Africa because of population and numbers. Nigeria is a prosperous, business, lucrative hub. And some of the Nigerians are top officials in the American government. And at one time, some of the universities in Nigeria and in UK,
they have more than 400 universities in Nigeria.
More of Nigerian professors in the European countries than local people in those countries.
Wow.
Because they have made it a point to educate their children constantly. And something else we cannot miss about Nigeria also, it is right now in the modern century, there are churches.
Yeah.
You almost find a church on every street corner.
Every corner, Nigerian.
If it is a building like this, you would find 5-6 churches downstairs.
By the roofs.
And whatever they do it with all their hearts.
Yeah.
They do it with all
Those
their
people
hearts.
have got love.
Miss Bam, what do you want to tell the African children in the continent?
African children, I want to tell them that they must keep on researching their history to know better where they come from and which culture do they come from or which language do they know, because when I look properly, like most of the children here, if they are Xhosas and they are here in Johannesburg, they only speak Zulu or English. So if they live here 5 years, they will lose their culture.
When I was ukhuluma isiXhosa.
Yeah, ngiyakwazi.
Thetha ndive. Akubulisa abusithini isiduko zakwa Bam.
Obham uNgxabane uRhibe baba nomhlehlo thalo mthwakazi.
Wow. That's nice. And what's your message for the great African youth?
All I can say is know yourself, be proud. Like if you know yourself, you can actually do something with your life. Because if you don't know yourself and you go somewhere, they'll ask you, who are you? Obviously, you'll know your name, but you won't know who you are. So know yourself. Google about yourself if you have to. Google about your country. The key point is knowing yourself.
Wow. And what message do you have for the African youth?
Yeah, all I want to say to the African youth is that, like, let's don't fake, guys. Like, let's just be proud of being black. Let's just be proud of who we are. Like, don't go to other countries and then right now you're trying to bleach yourself. You're trying to turn yourself to something that you're not. Let's just, like, be real. Be original in every place you go. Don't try to fake languages and try speaking English is not our mother tongue.
Yeah.
Yes, don't try to like twist your tongue till you swallow your tongue and die. We have to, get you funerals. We don't have money. I mean, during COVID.
Yeah.
So
back to you. I wanted just to pick up your brains. I'm enjoying this. What message do you have for President Ramaphasa?
Oh, President Ramaphasa.
Yes. If you want to tell him something what would you be telling him right now?
I will tell him that COVID-19, other people don't understand it. Other people think it's fake. They don't wear mask or anything. So what I want to tell Cyril Ramaphosa is that make sure the streets everyone always wears a mask.
Everyone wears a mask. And if you had a chance of talking to the Minister of Youth, what did you be telling him?
Of youth?
Yes.
I would say he should encourage the youth to maybe practice in sports, because when you look at the streets of maybe every township, every place, the Nyaupe boys, and that really is bad. So I would advise the youth minister to talk to the children, make them understand that life is worth living. Yes.
And for you, Minister, tell something to the Minister of Women Affairs. What do you want to tell them about women?
Yeah, women, Zimbokoto. Yes, women. I mean, nothing is possible in this world without women. From my own point of view, I mean, women are everything. And then for the gender-based violence, for the people who always harass women, people who always make women feel so, weak and insecure, it's not nice. So I just say to the women, let's just keep it strong and go forward with our lives, because we mean everything. They also know, even the abusers that are killing us, abusing us, raping and doing all those things, they know that we mean a lot. Hence, they are doing what they are doing. So I'm just saying, let's keep it strong.
There we have it from the young people here. We have the young people of the past. And we thought also in our days we were hot. We thought we were strong.
More than a much.
When we looked at our old people, we used to say, these old people don't understand. Now here we are with the young people of the present day. They're also looking at us and say, hey, Mahrutman, give us a chance also. We want to have the potion of our history. And while they're busy enjoying themselves, they're the young men of the future who are also coming. And I think every generation, we owe it to ourselves to hand down information, hand down knowledge. And if there is one thing we must not hand down to these children. It's a divided continent. It is a divided continent. It's hatred, it's division, xenophobia, calling each other names, and all these fake democratic systems that are not benefiting us in terms of us enjoying our resources. If there is anything we can give our children, let's give them a bright future. And there's no bright future without our land. Your host, Maponga J, chigaramboko garamashamba huda chirara na vana vevanji. Makumbe mana mwisendewe shano. Tizwana chigarama uke matanda novora, chiwe chitedza chinotedzera vari kure. Vari pedu vanotambana chomutambo uri paro vari vanotanga kugara. Vanopembera na machira machina une mazhaku magaro. Wiramiti yasvosve. Until we see you again, don't do what I would do. But if you decide to do it better.